Angie, as you know, we track several reports on First Business that measure different parts of the economy. Well, middle market companies, though they represent only 3% of businesses, they still generate a third of private sector GDP and workers. The National Center for the Middle Market just put out their third quarter report on this sector. Let's talk to Tom Stewart. He's the executive director of the organization. All right, Tom, let's look at the raw data first. Number one, revenue growth.
The middle market has had a really strong year. Year-on-year top-line growth in the middle market, 7.5%, which compares to 5.5% for the S&P 500, a really bang-up year.
All right, what about the important construction industry?
Construction has been the last industry to pick up from the recovery, from the crash, and was hit really hard 5 years ago. And we are now starting to see a pickup in demand and employment in the construction industry. So the recovery is filling out into that industry as well.
So that's kind of that's a bellwether sector, you would say?
Well, it's been a laggard, so I suppose it's not a bellwether in that sense, but it's the last one to get out of the gate, and we're now starting to see some good forward movement in construction. We'll see what happens during the winter, but it's good news so far.
All right, we're talking about growth. You could say that the retirement of baby boomers is kind of a growth area, and you looked at the impact from that too.
Yeah, the baby boomer impact is going to show up in middle market companies as that giant rabbit in the python is, slowly turns into retirement. We asked middle market CEOs, is this an issue? And it is getting on their radar screen. For some companies, a pretty intense issue right now. For others, they're recognizing that it's going to be there, and they're going to have some talent issues they're going to have to deal with in the years to come.
Well, we know the Democrats lost the election in part because of stagnant wages, and you assess that too. What would you learn there?
So we see the picture in the middle market that's similar to the national picture with one exception. Middle market job growth is running very high. It's sort of at 3.6% anticipated job growth for next year and 3.5% last year. So good growth in the numbers, but not a lot of growth in wages yet. Employers are not saying they're facing wage pressure. Employees are not saying they're seeing nice raises.
That's interesting. All right, Tom Stewart with the National Center for Middle Market. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bill.